Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Do I have a lot of background noise? No? Okay, good. We're doing kids watching a movie and eating dinner in the background, so just let me know. It's crazy. Okay, so tomorrow is our very last day of our May 30-day challenge, which I'm super excited about because I get to do the raffle for everyone who's been participating, and we're giving away a NutriBullet system, so that'll be super exciting. And for this next group that just started today, I know our groups are kind of overlapping this month. For the next group, the prize at the end is going to be a $100 Amazon gift card. So I figured everyone can use that however they want, and it'll help give everyone a little bit of added motivation to really participate and not fall off the bandwagon and all that good stuff. So I will go over again in our challenge group. It's very simple, but in order to get a raffle ticket, you can get 30 maximum for the 30 days, one a day. You have to post a selfie of you after you worked out and a Shakeology picture. And if you do both of those things, then you'll get a raffle ticket entered into the raffle, and everyone can have a chance to win that way. So it's fair across the board. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at as a team right now as far as exciting stuff that's happening. I'm going to go live in our Team Health Patriots page tomorrow when I do the raffle, probably after I get home from work. So it'll be tomorrow evening sometime. So that'll be exciting. Keep your eyes posted for that. And I'm super stoked tonight to have Colleen on our call. We're so honored to be able to hear from her and a little bit about her story and her Beachbody journey. She's just done so incredible. And if you guys follow her at all, I know she's like sunshine on your Facebook page. And I'm just super excited to hear from her tonight and hear what she has to share with us as she has grown her business and grown her impact that she has and grown as herself and learning what kind of impact she wants to have in other people. And one of the things I love about Colleen is she's really determined to bring the best out of the people she's working with. And I think that's such a huge, powerful, amazing trait as a coach that we all should want to do, with our own personalities. But I think that that's such a huge calling that we have to really change the world, right? People think we're crazy for wanting to change the world, but somebody's got to do it because it's not going in the right direction. Okay, so here are a few amazing stats about Colleen. She is a 7-star diamond in her first business center, and she is a diamond in her other 2 business centers, which is huge. She's a 2-time elite coach. She was number 135 in the company last year, which is so huge because there's like 500,000 coaches, I think, in Beachbody. I could have read the wrong statistic, but I think that's where we're at. Somewhere like that. Somewhere
almost. We're like almost four something.
Okay.
We go back and forth between the 450 and the 5.
So basically 500,000. So to be like 135 out of 500,000 coaches, that's crazy, right? And so amazing. So we definitely have a lot to learn. And Colleen, thank you again for being on our call. And I'm super excited to hear from you. I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to you right now.
Hi, guys. So I don't feel very good tonight. So typically I am like bursting with energy, loud, and I'm still going to bring the energy and the awesomeness tonight. But in case I look a little bit more delicate tonight, just wanted to let you know, so I might be sipping on some water here and there. So I'm here to share tonight with you my story, what has worked for me, what I've learned along the way, and what I truly believe you need to be successful. And I'm a rare coach that usually will come on calls, and I talk about the things that most people don't. I don't just talk about the vital behaviors. I talk about the things that I have found came into my business as a struggle or an obstacle. I'm like, no one warned me about this. So I kind of take on the role of sharing the parts that you're going to want to know later on down the road. Because we hear, do the vital behaviors, and maybe you're doing those things, right? But you want to know what's truly going to bring me to a business as successful as Liz, right? Liz, to me, is the role model in this business. So she's also my mentor, and I've learned so much from just watching her, from knowing her. And I'm so thankful for her style of mentorship, because she didn't answer my messages in the beginning because she wanted me to be an independent leader. We didn't have trainings. We didn't have Zoom in the beginning. So when I say I literally had to try 25 things before it worked for me, I truly mean that. So I learned the hard way, and maybe you are too. I just want you to know that that will bring so much strength and depth later on in your career as a coach. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So in my notes here, I love to talk, but since I don't feel good, I'm going to stick to the notes. So my story, I like to just start things off with, you might see me on social media as what people say is, you're the most positive person I know. And that has been a learned skill in my life. I was the Debbie Downer. I was the most pessimistic person you would ever meet. I was so negative. I was nasty. And you really wouldn't think that now, because I've completely rewired my brain, my beliefs, my values, everything when I made the decision to create a better life for myself. I was one of those people who, when I decided to change my life, I drew the line in the sand and I never looked back. And I think a lot of people tiptoe around that line. They want the change, they desire the change, they see the change, then they don't take the action. So I'm that tough love coach where you can have the emotion, the vision, but to create something, you have to have the action too. So, I've lost my career job that I had for 6 years out of college. I have gone through cancer twice with my husband. I've gone through chemotherapy with my husband. I have had mono. I have lost diamond coaches when I was trying to hit elite. I've hit you hear this on the news every day. You hear this in our coach world every day. But this happened in like 2.5 years for me, all that. So besides the career job loss, obviously I lost that before Beachbody. But I'm actually originally from Boston, Mass. And when I started this, I was 26 going on 27. So when I grew up in Massachusetts, I grew up a completely different life. I grew up in a wonderful childhood with my family, but I was raised that you go to school, you get a resume, you get this job, and you climb that ladder. Not necessarily the corporate ladder, but you chase the promotion. You do what your boss says, and it doesn't matter. You shut up and do it. My mom's a chemist. My sister's now a doctor. My dad's an IT director, and then there's me. So I've always kind of been the redheaded stepchild of the family, as I like to say. No one else in my family is blonde. My sister is dark hair, 2 different color eyes. So it's just kind of funny where, I turned 24. And when I worked for Verizon Wireless, straight out of college, I had this moment where I said, I don't know if I can say bad words, but I'm going to try not to. I don't swear big time, but I was like, holy crap, is this really what my life is going to be like every day? And this was only when I was 24. I went into a job that was cool, paid me good money. I thought my salary was the best thing since sliced bread, my $65,000 working 60 hours a week for someone else, right? That's just what I thought I was supposed to do because my mom and dad said that. I built up my resume, but I got really bored. So I packed up all my things into a pod, moved 3,000 miles away to Lake Tahoe, California, and I didn't know a single soul here. I thrive on challenge. I thrive on change. Transferred my job out here. So back in Massachusetts and New Hampshire where I worked, I had the best job. I was really thankful. I had an awesome boss who taught me a lot. But when I came out here, my life forever changed in my career. I had a boss who made my life a living hell. She had a power trip over me. She was demeaning. She would on purposely put me in situations that would get me in trouble. And then I come into work one day after working with her for 1.5 years, and I find out that I'm getting transferred to another store that is not anywhere near me. So I have to leave Lake Tahoe. I sign a lease. I say, this is what you got to do, right? Mom and dad say you just take one for the team and you just do it and you stick with it. I didn't even think about looking for another job because I was that good employee. I was that loyal employee. When I came into work one day, I found out that nasty boss transferred me to a store that was closing. So the rug was literally ripped out from under me. Hadn't even been in my new place for 30 days and I had to break my lease, lost my job. And so that for me, I remember being in the car, clearly hysterically crying, saying, what am I going to do? I'm 3,000 miles away from home. And I was so angry that I promised myself I would never allow someone else to have control over my life, my income, my time, my schedule. Like that was it for me. I said, I don't care what I need to do. I'm not going back to that life. Where most people thought I was going to go find another corporate job. I don't know what flipped in me, but I live in the most beautiful place literally in the world, if you ask me. I hope you guys know what Lake Tahoe looks like. Like, what am I doing? I'm sorry, but no one in this area has a corporate job. They're paddleboarding and kayaking and hiking and snowboarding, and they either have their own business or they work at the mountains here, and I was going to this corporate job every day. So it was a blessing in disguise for me. But that was the first taste of, all right, Colleen, you have to create your success. So I started to think about, how can I start to create my life? Who do I know that can place me in a position or give me some advice, give me an opportunity to thrive? I desperately needed to get in shape. I was extremely unhealthy. I actually had stomach ulcers that were kind of rotting from the inside out, which is how I found Shakeology. And I thought of Liz, because she was the person on social media. And I've always been someone who's loved social media. I haven't been that person who's like, only adds my 150 neighborhood friends. I've always loved social media. So I said, I'm educated, I'm hardworking. Like, why is this so difficult? Who can help me? I need to get in shape. And I'll tell you guys why I love the idea of Beachbody from the beginning. And side note, I was a customer 6 months prior who bought a challenge pack and returned it. I was in such a deep depression from losing my job. And then Sean and I broke up for a little bit because I was really rock bottom hot mess, guys. Like, I'm not even going to spend too much there, but it was bad to the point that he's like, yeah, I'm going to let you do some growing up healing. And he left for a little bit, not going to lie. And then I forget what I was going to say. Why I was bringing that up. We'll come back to that. But I was thinking of, okay, Liz is very successful with Beachbody. How can I be successful with this? It's a workout. And to me, if you show up, do the workout, and show results, people are going to want it, right? I don't have to convince people. They're going to see me be happier, healthier, more confident, living a better life. It's the results that are going to speak. And my dream was to have, I was Colleen Eddy back then, but ColleenEddy.com. And so guess what I did? I made my Facebook, basically, ColleenEddy.com. I treated it like a blog. So I am a Nazi about social media. If you're not out there multiple times a day, and this week's a little bit different because I found out I had to move and I've been sick, but you guys can stalk my social media and see that I put it all out there. And here's why. Because when I'm at the grocery store or when I'm hiking or when I'm sleeping, my social media is doing the work for me. All the objections that people have, all the fears, all the experiences, all those struggles, all the triumphs, when you put those out there consistently, it's doing the work for you. So from day one, if you want to ask me how I hit Success Club, that's what I did. We didn't have trainings. I didn't understand what invite meant, to be honest with you guys. Inviting is something that the company started talking about more probably 3 years ago. It was all about challenge groups before. And then we started to really talk about paying the business opportunity forward to people. So I didn't have a team for the first 18 months of my business. Write that number down. 18 months. Are you willing to show up every single day, give this your all, build belief, face your fears without having a team for 18 months? Because that's what happened to me, and I still believe that I was going to be successful in this, but I knew that I had to prove to people that this was something. This is my job, to prove to people that this is something real, that I can get results. You cannot expect people to truly believe in you as their leader if you're not showing them that you're getting the results in your personal growth, in your fitness, a little bit of finances. I'm not saying you need to make a lot of money, but you've got to share that part. Why should someone join you? And I think in the beginning, I did a really good job of that because to me, this is the biggest blessing in the world. So when I joined, like I said, I didn't have a team for the first 18 months. I was a diamond because I controlled my husband's account to emerald. I was a 1-star for a long time because my husband was a diamond. So technically, I didn't really have a team. My husband doesn't even count. And I still just kept going. Success Club wasn't a problem for me because, to be honest, guys, if you're doing your social media and you're having conversations and you give people an awesome reason to join your challenge group because you're showing what you're doing on social media in your challenge groups, you will hit Success Club. If you're not, we can talk about this later, but it's just a confidence thing. I know when I message someone, I don't even really care if they join my challenge group that day. I more care about leaving an impression on that person so that we make a connection. I leave an impression to the point that they're like, I want that person in my life. Sometimes I'm a business mentor. Sometimes I'm a babe mentor for people because I know what it's like to be rock bottom, and everyone has a different story. That's what's great, is I'm going to help the people who are like me, and you have to own your story when it's messy, when it's beautiful, when it's ugly, and put it out there so that when you're posting, someone goes, holy shit, that's how I feel too. Then they reach out, or they fill out your form that you have at the bottom of your post, or they comment, or they like every single photo, and then you message them. They eventually will come into your life. So that was kind of, the beginning of my business. Like I said, I didn't know how to invite. I knew how to do a workout, and personal development has been the most pivotal thing in my life. Because if I didn't spend those 18 months when no one else was joining me with my nose in a book, watching every video on YouTube I could, studying successful people, investing in my business and in myself, when cancer and all these crazy things came into my life, I would have crumbled. And I can promise you that when tragedy comes into your life and when curveballs come into your business, if you are saying, I don't have time for Beachbody right now, I have to go focus on this, you're not thinking right. You haven't done enough PD. And I can tell you that Beachbody kept me on my feet and on my family's feet. Like, I was able to sit next to my husband during that chemo because of this business. I could travel. I could still earn an income for us. He didn't work for a year and a half. Imagine if I took a break from Beachbody, I would fall apart. My husband needed me. My team needed me. So I always tell people that our life and our personal development journey is kind of like, I want you to picture a UFC ring, a fighting ring. And this is every single day. It's you in life. That's the big event. Fighting each other. And everyone in the audience paid thousands and hundreds of dollars to come to this event, right? How obnoxious are those events? The lights and the people and the guys get together at their house and they order tons of food. It's this huge main event. Everyone's watching these two people. That's how your life is. If you have family, if you have children, if you have a why, you have haters, if you have social media fans that follow you, this fighting ring, that audience is watching. So when life punches you and you're just laying on the ground, I highly doubt that in real life, when life punches you, you would just lay there and say, this is too hard. I'm not going to do Beachbody. What would you do? You have to place such a high expectation on yourself that you truly are fighting life every single day. I only give myself one option, and it's fight back. I love challenge. Actually, when life is easy for me, I don't know what to do. I thrive on challenge because I know how to dig and have that grit and perseverance. And I'm thankful for my parents. I don't know if you guys have kids. If you do, hold them to a high standard, not in a mean way, but just push them to know that they can always, that they're awesome, that they can do more. And I'm so grateful that my parents did that for me, because in this business, guys, this is the hardest thing you will ever do. I love hair and makeup. I have a whole vanity, messy vanity over there. I could sell hair, makeup. I can sell anything you would tell me to, but selling a life transformation from the inside out is physically and mentally the hardest work you'll ever do. That's why there's only 400-ish thousand coaches. That's why we don't have 2 million distributors, because people go, oh, I got to change my eating and my working out and my social media and my confidence, and I got to read a book. That's a whole different ballgame. So kudos to you guys for showing up for that. So you've got to be tough to get through this journey. So I always tell people that the amount of success you'll have in this business is the amount of personal growth you do. I mean the painful stuff. So take your biggest weakness and work on it. Take your strength and talk about it. I spent hours and hours because it's all I knew how to do. You know that example where they say control the controllable? I sucked at inviting, so I kind of skipped that one in the beginning. I was like, workout, shake, boom, done. I'm a fitness coach. PD, okay, I can control the amount of PD that I do, and I feel like I'm learning. I felt like I was thriving more in my PD than I was in my invites. So as a rookie mistake, that's what I did. I'm not saying to do that, but if you're trying to do the invites and you're trying to do the conversations in the challenge groups, and on a scale of 1 to 10, your confidence is a 4 or a 5, people are going to feel that. So maybe you need to up your PD to 75% of your time. And then guess what? I'm going to tell you that 25% of the time, your focus on your weakness can be the invites. But if it's the other way around, you're kind of just, you're not getting anywhere. People know through I use capitals, I use exclamation points, I use emojis. People feel my passion for this. I'm not just like, hi, how are you today? My coaches will send me screenshots of that. I'm like, hey, show me your conversations. And I'm like, if you sent me that, I would probably delete you. Hi, how are you today? Like, I don't know you. How about, hey girl, I was stalking your page. You're freaking awesome. I love your red hair. You know, I always look for girls with makeup, colored hair, dogs, hiking, paddleboards. Your people, ask them a question, compliment them, engage. Hi, how are you is not going to cut it. I'm sure they get plenty of those messages. So I set really high expectations for myself to become this strong leader. And when life throws me curveballs, I now know why. And the universe is going to test you, and you. And I'm sure maybe today you had one of those moments. And in those moments, you have to remember, okay, there's a reason this is happening. And my reasons for why I went through cancer twice and chemo and mono and all that with my family was so that when my team saw me showing up and fighting back, they can say, I can do hard things too if she can do it. Being a leader in this business and changing lives is not about you. When you have your habits and your change and all that happening, that's what we call a Beachbody coach. You're getting results, you're drinking your shake, you're doing a challenge group. We all do that, right? We all share that. When you become the true CEO, when you become a Liz in this world, you wake up every day to serve and you're dedicated to other people, to your mission of how you want to help people. So that's the breaking point. That was my moment where I said, okay, I want to be like Liz. I want to be like the other successful people in this world, whether it's Beachbody or not. Think about the person who inspires you the most. Do they show up every day? Do they inspire you every day? It's not a me show. It's a, I'm here to help you. And in all my posts, I really try to make sure that I share my story. I share the lesson, the emotion. But then I provide a solution for the audience, like I'm having a conversation in a coffee shop. Because imagine this. I'm sitting down, so picture your post like a conversation in a coffee shop. Did my workout today, drank my shake today, I feel awesome, getting a six-pack, join my next challenge group. It's kind of like bleh, right? But if you're having a conversation with someone in a post format, and you say, you know what, I know what it's like to start on day one, girl. It's really hard. And then you're gonna keep asking yourself, can I do this? Your friends might be like, what the heck are you doing? I've been there, but I just want you to know that it's worth it in the end. So if you've ever considered wanting to feel better, if you've ever considered wanting to make changes in your life, I've been in your shoes. This is how you can get a hold of me or whatever your call to action may be. Be conversational in your sharing. Let them know that you are serving them. That's a huge part of this business because there's 450,000 Beachbody coaches out there. Only 205 of them are elite coaches, right? Only a small percentage of the company are in the top numbers, I guess we could say. And it's not because of their abs. Some of our top coaches don't even talk about abs. They don't talk about workouts. They're truly serving others. So this is something that and I spend so much time there because you will never find your mission and how you want to serve others if you don't spend the time in here first and up here. And sometimes you're reading a book and it doesn't connect. Sometimes you're doing a seminar and you're like, okay, I wasted $500. Sometimes you're doing a training and it's not for you. Move on, figure out something that's going to light a fire for you. But it's a never-ending process until the day that you die. Always, forever, learning, growing. So if you're stagnant, if you've been doing the same thing for 6 months, we have a problem. Even if you're new, every 3 months in your business, you're like, okay, I learned those 3 months. What do I do now? We never stop doing the basics. We never stop doing the vital behaviors. We never stop doing challenge groups. But there's different layers of leadership as you continue to graduate on. I'm out of breath. So what's it going to take to be successful? Every single day is a choice. So when your kids are screaming, when your boss is driving you crazy, when you want to punch your husband for the day, and you want to shut down from doing your extra Beachbody work, that's a good reality check, and you have to be aware of that. When you're telling yourself, you know, today, when you start to justify when you're not working your business, you have to be very self-aware of that. And I'm not saying, guys, I'm perfect at all. 4 years into this business, now I kind of have the luxury to say, okay, I'll get that done on Saturday. But for 2 years, every single day, I did not stop. This isn't to scare you, but I spent 40 to 60 hours a week on my business. I worked 3 jobs and I did Beachbody. That was my choice. I'm not saying you have to do that. If you have kids, you have the choice to either spend the extra hour with them or spend the extra hour on Beachbody, and you just have to be okay with your choice. There's no right or wrong way. It might take you longer. You might do it quicker. But either way, there's a lot of sacrifice and there's a lot of dedication. If you are dipping your toe in the Beachbody pool, you have no idea if it's hot, cold, warm. You have no idea. But if you jump in cannonball style, as soon as you do that, you're going to go, holy shit, that was fun. Why didn't I do that 10 years ago? And you're going to know if it's hot, cold, warm, cool. Okay? You're going to know. So if you're dipping your toes in, you're going to go, I don't know if this is going to work for me. I mean, full immersion. And that's what Tony Robbins talks about all the time. So your daily choices. And so what I found last year in 2016 is we tried to give too many trainings to coaches. We're like, here's the blueprint for all of your success. And then no one got ahead. And I was like, what just happened? We just told you guys what to do. We took away the choice for a coach to fail a little bit, to learn a little bit. So it's not your coach's job to tell you how to figure out how to earn money. You can ask for advice and totally be mentored and be coachable and things like that. But I just want you to say, where do you want to go? Try a million things, ask for advice, take their advice. Want to know what I did? I watched Chelsea Pearson, Amy Silverman, Christina Salgado, and Liz Hartke for years. And I was like, what are they doing? I'm going to act like I'm them. I wasn't trying to be Elizabeth, but I was trying to act like a successful elite coach. I showed up on team calls, and I always give people crap that are the black boxes on the screen. I'm like, if you're going to show up, show your face. Because guess what? When you're talking on a call someday, it really sucks when there's black boxes there. So I'm just being honest with you. You know, Liz wouldn't come on here and have a black box, right? Do you go to Super Saturdays? If you guys have been coaches for a little while, offer to speak at a Super Saturday. That was the first thing that I was able to dip my toe in the leadership pool. I was like, okay, so how do I become more than like this person hitting Success Club? How can I impact people's lives, and especially the coach network? You know, don't have blinders on in such a big way that you miss out on helping the community. Think about all the top coaches. They spend so much time putting summit presentations together and all of that. So becoming a part of this community and doing events like that, you'll go, oh, I get it. You'll start to have that feeling that no one can even explain. So I want you guys to remember that you need to have perseverance through the unknown. There's a difference between being an employee and an entrepreneur. At your job, Jessica, you know what time to be there. You know what time you leave. You know what to do. And if you stray from that box, you're screwed. Guess what, guys? As an entrepreneur, you're outside the box. You are swimming outside the box going, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And you feel like you're in this dark room that Jessica signed you up in. She locked you in this dark room and you're like, what am I doing? That is being an entrepreneur. And you have to stand up and flail around to the point that you find the light switch and go, oh, I get it. Guarantee Jessica has had that feeling. Maybe some of you have had that feeling even 4 years in, when I'm like, okay, how am I going to hit elite for the third year in a row? I need a plan. Lots of flailing. I've tried Instagram. I've tried ads. I've spent money, thousands of dollars on my personal development. I've done anything that I possibly can because I'm not willing to give up on that. So I want you to know that that unknown feeling of, am I doing this right, is good. Shay Stanford says, until you get to the awkward teenage years of Beachbody, you're not even close. No, you're not even close. She's like, it's got to get awkward, make you sweaty, and you have to literally say, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like your first kiss, right? I remember mine, and it was like the weirdest thing ever, and I felt like I was going to die. It's kind of like being an entrepreneur. You don't know what the heck you're doing. That is so different than being an employee. So when you guys are at your other jobs, if you have them, check that mindset at the door. You don't have a boss. There's not a beautiful manual telling you, although we do give you trainings. You have to be willing to go outside that box. And that was something I was good at because I hated being an employee. Okay, investment. I'll talk about that for like 2 seconds. But the biggest investment is in yourself. You hear that all the time. So if you ever have time in your day, any extra time, do personal development. And you have to find something that lights a fire within you. For me, sometimes it's podcasts. Sometimes I hate podcasts. Sometimes it's one particular book. Sometimes it's a new project. I've gone through probably 5 huge projects in my business where 4 have failed, 1 have been successful. Spent lots of hours, putting together content and free groups. And I'm not saying you have to do that. That's just something I tried. I didn't do a free group that was successful until year 3.5, just 6 months ago. Just being honest with you. Oh yeah, make sure if you have any questions too. I'm obsessed with questions because then I feel like at the end, everyone stares at me like a deer in the headlights and I feel weird. So any questions at all that you guys want to ask? Okay, so now I kind of like gave you guys what I call the preacher stuff. You have to work your ass off. You have to show up, right? No black boxes. No, just kidding. You have to thrive outside the box, and every single day is a choice for you. When it's hard, that's when I show up. I love that. When I don't want to do my workout, I'm like, I should show up. When I don't want to make the post that makes me want to throw up, I make the post. If you can train your brain where you only have one choice, I do it or I don't, and that's it. Too many people spend time in between doing this, chasing their tail, around and around and around. I've made it very easy for myself, and it is simple. If you say, okay, Colleen, you either press go on the post and you write it because you feel it and you think it. Imagine waking up and giving yourself permission to be yourself. Do you know how freeing that is? To actually just wake up and write the post that you thought about when you wake up. That's what I do. And it's so fun when you can do that. But I had to work on me first. I had to speak on calls. I had to get in front of Super Saturdays until the point where I felt my voice mattered. If you feel like you are just in the herd of sheep and you don't feel like you're standing out, it's because you're not challenging yourself enough to give yourself a voice. So here are 5 skills that you have to sharpen to be successful. So yeah, I'm going to tell you to do vital behaviors, of course, but people just think that that's it. So to be successful, especially in 2017, the first one that you have to sharpen, and I say that word sharpen because this takes time. Maybe I was good at social media in the beginning. Some of my coaches weren't. I had to teach them that, and I had to work with them on that. But you can learn social media, I promise. Social media is the first skill you must sharpen. You have to do live videos. If you've never done a live video, what are you waiting for? And I mean every other day, if you can. I haven't done any this week because I'm a really bad coach this week, but I'm excusing myself this week. But if you go to all my videos, you'll see live videos. If you don't have time to go every other day, I want you guys to make a commitment. How many times a week can you go live? Live videos have a lot more weight. And if you guys are familiar with how Facebook works, videos are shown more than just a post. Photos, people, I'm a graphic designer from college. That's what I did back in the day. I don't really do it anymore, but I definitely have the eye for it. So aesthetically, your social media, I want you guys to picture it like a Super Bowl ad. You spent $1 million on this ad that you're putting out. And I don't mean physically an ad, I'm just saying your post, okay? You are advertising your life and yourself. Think about the 30 seconds that you have to make an impression on someone, the Super Bowl ad. And I know for a fact that these Super Bowl ads, they think, is my consumer going to remember and like this commercial? And I think the same thing. What is going to make someone click like, comment, or share? Are you engaging with your audiences? So today I feel like crap. I feel like poop on a stick. And I made a post tonight asking my audiences about TV. And I think I had 30 comments already on it. You just have to be able to engage. It's nothing about Beachbody. But if you're getting people to watch your Super Bowl ads because they're so awesome, whether they're photos or emotional posts, vulnerable posts, your engagement will build so that when you do make a post about your challenge group, it's being seen. That stuff really matters. Be vulnerable on your social media if you're perfect on social media, you're actually really hurting your business. So if you fall off your workout, tell people why and what you're doing to get back on. Don't be like, I'm never going to fall off again. I'm back. Just be like, hey, I'm back on, because you know you're going to fall off again. This is my favorite quote that I tell my challengers, and it's changed so many of their lives. Never strive for perfection, always dedication. This week, I haven't been the best coach, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I only checked into my challenge group personally twice, and I never missed that, ever. So am I a failure? No, but I'm going to stay dedicated and be like, hey guys, sorry, I've been a little crazy trying to find a place to live because I don't have a place to live anymore. So you just share the good, the bad, the ugly, but it's important for you to share a solution. If you want to serve others, this is where you bring personal development to social media. It doesn't have to be like a quote you found on social media, but I write in all of my books, and then I go back the next day and I take a quote and I tell a story about how I felt, how I connected with that. And guess what? You're inspiration for someone every single day. That's like a no-brainer for me. Okay, that was the first skill. I could talk about social media for like 20 hours. If you guys ever want me to do a call on that, I can spend forever on The second skill that you need to sharpen is inviting, and we call it forming. I call it connecting. You must sharpen your skills on that. So maybe you guys need to send some screenshots to Jessica of what do your conversation starters look like. It's not just about how you're inviting someone. And some people are naturally good at having a conversation. I know Jessica's good at it because I challenged her on my team call, and she told me what she says to them. And I was like, oh, natural. She's like, well, duh, this is what I say, And that's a skill that you might have to learn, and be open and coachable to being critiqued. I do that a lot with my coaches that want it so bad, but they're missing it in their conversations. Imagine if I never asked for that and a year goes by and nothing ever changed. And then the invite. There's 3 ways you can invite, guys. I think it's important if you struggle, if you have time, and you struggle with hitting Success Club, I really do believe that a free group is important. I hate clean eating groups. This is me 4 years in. I'm just always being honest with you guys. I hate all those things because I can't change someone's life enough with a clean eating group. I teach people how I think, how I eat, how I work out, what I do in my routines. I teach people how to live a more vibrant life. Once you figure that out on your journey, I have no idea how long you guys have been coaches. Once you have that holy crap moment, I was meant to do this, then you go and create a free group for people where you're inviting 50 people a day. Because hey, do you want to join my free group to teach women how to live more vibrantly? How easy is that invite, right? So that's one way you can invite. And guys, if you want to do a clean eating group, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying for me, I'm like, oh, that's painful 4 years in. But if you're newer, that stuff's awesome because you can invite 100 people. And what's the harm? Probably everyone's going to say yes, right? The second type of invite that you do can be a challenge group. And you have to be a really good judge of character with this. I never teach cold messages. Hey, I'm having a challenge group. Do you want to join? That's how I teach my team. You're going to see trainings where people teach that. You get to be your own business owner, and you get to decide how you want to do this. Jessica does things different than me. That's what's awesome, is it's not black and white in this business, but you have to be willing to try what's going to work for you. And the other thing about the free groups is that everyone's doing clean eating groups. Everyone is doing these free groups that it's not special anymore. So I've been challenging my people who are closer to hitting Success Club to go the extra mile and to serve their people in challenge groups. So we talk about how we can help people in a bigger way. The third skill that you want to sharpen, and someone was talking about this before we started, but follow-up. So this is something that you will try 10,000 things before you get it right. I'll tell you what I do for follow-ups. I did recently start to use Teamsy, but that wasn't around when I started. So when it started at first, I did the free trial, didn't really care for it, did it again, and it was just perfect timing for me, where it tells me who to reach out to and connect. The connects are so easy. I contact 7 people from my social media a day, 5 customers from my customer list, and 5 coaches from my team. Let's talk about being connected and truly changing lives. That gives me a great opportunity. Just little check-ins with people. When I connect with people from my social media, if I don't know them, I'll be like, hey, Jessica, I know you don't know me, but I'm here on social media, just spreading the love every single day. I only add people who have awesome smiling selfies and awesome profiles, and I compliment their photo. And I say, I just wanted to wish you a happy day, or ask them a question like, how old is your cute dog? I love Pomeranians. I have one. So it's just, spreading the love. And I think of the visual of leaving an impression on someone. Like physically, when they open it, they're just like, oh, that was so nice. That's how someone should feel when they open your message, not, hi, how are you? I don't know why I just keep going back to that because it just cracks me up. So how I do my follow-ups, let me rephrase. I don't use Teamsy for follow-ups. I use Teamsy for the inviting and the forming. The follow-up part drives me crazy in Teamsy, but I'll tell you that a lot of my coaches do love it. My follow-up system, I don't write down every single person that I talk to. I write down the people who I connect with that I go, oh, I got to go back to that person. So I don't have a list of 20,000 names, guys. I have a list of, you guys have probably heard 10 in play. You should always have 10 people that are maybes, that maybe you have invited, that are maybe interested, that seem awesome, that you're not going to burn your bridges and invite right then, but you're going to go back. Maybe you did invite them. Maybe they said no next month. So you should always have 10 solid people that you can kind of follow up with. And if you have 10 in play, how sophisticated does your system need to be, right? So for me, I write there, I know you can't see because my lighting's terrible right now, but this is my planner. I get mine at Target every single year. And I have the 10 names of coaches and challengers at the top. So this was for May 1st. So the names are at the top. I've also used this before, but the problem is I travel a lot and this is like 20 million times bigger than my head. But if you're just an office person and don't travel a ton, this is the High Achievers Playbook. It's for network marketers. Liz gifted it to me as an elite gift and it's been awesome. So all I had in here were the names of people. I know you can't see, so there's no point in even showing you. The names of the people who are interested. And I write a little bit. I write ordering on February 23rd. Followed up. She wanted the challenge pack, meal plan, Shakeology. You know, I just write little notes about it so that when I do my follow-ups, those are my people. I don't really see any point to write follow-ups and have this huge tracking system to know, check off, I added a friend today. I don't need to know that. I add the person. I don't need to know that I tracked it. I don't need to know that I sent a message to someone. If it goes somewhere, oh, their name goes down. And I actually highlight with a highlighter the ones that I'm like, must be on my team. I'm not going to talk to her about it today, but the people I vibe with, and that you can just tell, guys, right? You just know. That's my follow-up system. Okay, so that's the third skill you must sharpen. The fourth skill, and this is kind of back to that free group thing. The fourth skill you must sharpen is your experience opportunity that you offer. So when someone works with you, are they going to their work and being like, guys, I met the coolest chick that's going to help me get in shape. You should see this chick on social media. Or do they don't even know your name and they don't even remember how to find you on Facebook? You have to offer people something awesome to stand out. And it doesn't need to be this huge fancy challenge group, but that's a really great place to start. If you're newer, I'm sure that Jessica lets you use her challenge group, but I'm going to challenge you to branch off a little bit, bring your brand and your passion and your expertise into it. So moms, full-time working moms, exactly Jessica, maybe some of you guys. How are you doing it? That is the best group in the world. How I am surviving being a mom, a full-time worker, and a healthy workout lover, whatever you want to call it. Guys, you have to show people how you're making it happen. I'm not a mom. Someday I will be, but I don't work full-time anymore. So they look at me and they're like, yeah, whatever, Colleen, it's probably easy for you. So I got to go deep. I got to show them the crazy deep down work I've done if they want big changes in their life. So that goes back to your conversations as well. What is this experience that they're having? You're also speaking for Beachbody as a whole. So is this person like, vomit, I hate network marketing, I hate Beachbody coaches? Or are you like, hey, I'm different than the rest. This is how I want to help you change your life. And you're going to have to work on that. And Jessica can probably help you with that in your conversations as well. I talk way too much. And the last one, you guys can ask questions and I'll let you go. I only plan on doing 30 minutes, but I'm feeling good. So the fifth skill you must sharpen, and you might not like this one, but you do have to figure it out, is your transition to coach. How you help someone transition into becoming a coach. You can't just Success Club all day. You can't just challenge group all day. Because then you're not going to truly become a CEO that's serving and creating a team in a big way. And I assume if you're here listening to this crazy person talk that you're excited and you have big goals and you guys want to do something with this. I can tell you guys right now that I've been so broke to the point that I didn't have enough money to buy light bulbs. I had $20,000 of credit card debt. I make more than my sister and she's a doctor. I'm making high six figures with this business. Because I had a huge vision and I said, watch out obstacles. I will tear down anything that gets in my way. I write down my goals. I see where I'm going to be in 2 years from now. I put my wedding on hold so I could have a 2-year mark in this business. And I said, I want to have my first dance with my husband. And I want to say, we did it, babe, and earn 6 figures. And we did that. But if you're sitting there being like, yeah, well, that'd be nice, Colleen. Like, I'd love to make $500 a week. Yeah, well, you know, and then you go back into your little hole of self-doubt. We're not getting anywhere. I need to encourage you to think that you need a team. You must talk to people about this. If you don't know how to do that yet, it's just because your belief and your confidence just needs a little tweaking. It doesn't mean it's not possible for you. You just have to dig really deep on that. So if I was to give you a microphone in a room with 50 people like you, can you talk about why you love Beachbody and why they need to be on your team? Because they're just like you. You've got to work on presenting that to people on your social media, on live videos, on everything. So that transition to coach is extremely important. My method is my free group. It's called Beautiful Minds. It's a 5-day free workshop. See how I label that? It's not a 5-day clean eating group because everyone's heard of that a million times. I just changed the words. And you can do a 3-day or whatever you want. And I work Beachbody in. So my first day is how to live more vibrantly. And I help people self-reflect. When's the last time before Beachbody someone had you self-reflecting? When I get these people in there, they're like, damn, I got some work to do. So what do, Colleen? If I want my family life to be better, if I want my love life to be better, if I want my finances to be better, like how did you do that? And so I'm inserting Beachbody and vibrancy and health and wellness, which is so awesome. It's so well-rounded what we do. It's not just a shake. Then I get them into a challenge group. I invite them for my free group. And then if they're rocking in my challenge group, boom, I invite them to be a coach. It just happened that I started this in November, and I've had my most successful months for a long time. I used to hit Success Club 44 back in the day, and then I've always hit 10, 12, 18, and I was back to 26 the last few months, which is really 4 years in, not something that I need to do, but I'm going big for building a team. So strengthen that muscle of how do you present coaching to someone? Jessica can work with you on that, I'm sure. Okay, I'm out of breath. So if you guys have questions, I would love any questions. And this is where you guys have to get out of your comfort zones. And, I remember when I was a newer coach, I was always asking questions.
Colleen, that was freaking amazing. My mind is like so exploding. And I have my 2 full pages of notes here.
I'm like sweating. All this passion sweats.
Oh my gosh. And I love how close we are. So everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone who made it onto the call is all only 3 hours away from you.
You guys should come to the event in Sacramento I'm speaking at.
When?
I'll send you guys the link. It's June 24th. Do you guys know Coach Tulin?
I don't think so.
She's known as she calls herself the plus size coach. Just literally type in Coach Tulin. She's in the top in the company. She hit Success Club 100 every month. She went from homeless to now successful with Beachbody. She's speaking at the event. We have corporate, me, one of my other bajillionaire Beachbody friends. That's what I like to call her because she hates it. Christy Kressner. So this is a good time for you guys to get to know some big names in this business. Get to an event, especially if you only live 3 hours away. I've driven 12 hours one way for an event. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, send me the link. That'd be awesome. For anyone who doesn't, I hope everybody knows by now how to unmute yourself. I know we lost few people, or how to use the chat box. So do you guys have any specific questions for Colleen? I have a couple for you, Colleen, while everyone's thinking.
Sure.
I was going to ask you first, this is sometimes a hard question, but yes. Off the top of your head right now, what are some of your top 3 personal development books right now?
That's a good question for me because that's what I talk about. So,
okay, good.
So when I went through the crazy moments in my life with my husband, I was looking for a sign from the universe because my grandmother also passed away. So I was like, okay, universe, you're testing me. I'm showing up. Give me a break here. Walking through the airport, and I had heard of the 10X rule by Grant Cardone, and it was just sitting in the airport glaring at me. Picked it up, and it was an extremely life-changing book for me, exactly what I needed. So 10X rule by Grant Cardone. If you guys need a little kick in the you-know-what, and if you guys are just posting and you're just kind of existing in your coach business right now and you want to go, 10X rule. The magic of thinking big is where the mindset aspect comes in. You have to be open to understanding that everything we do is up here. Guys, think about it. I'm in this office every day. No one talking to me. It's just my brain and me every single day. In your workouts, who is it? Your brain and you. So if you skip the mindset stuff, this will be extremely hard for you. If you're talking to your coaches, you're also in your head. So the magic of thinking big. And then to just pick a third one, Developing the Leader Within You by John C. Maxwell. I also remember being very pivotal for me. John C. Maxwell is pretty dry, not going to lie, but it's so useful and tangible. So when you start developing a team and you have some people and you're kind of like, holy crap, what do I do? That's a great book.
Awesome. Thank you. I've read 10X Rule. That one is amazing, but I haven't read the other 2. So those are going on my list. And then I was going to ask you about how you organize things, but you kind of touched on that with Team Z and how you make your list, which I really love because especially for any of you who are working full time or also have a family and like time is super limited, I love that you highlight like the people that you know you want to follow up with, you know, that are there a little bit already. Because my problem that, you know, and we all trial and error with a bunch of these kinds of strategies of how to have organization with following up with people and all of that. But if I make it, like you said, if I have like 1,000 people on my spreadsheet, I know that I'm not going to be efficient in following up with them because I do not have the time. So I really liked that point that you had too.
And you guys can use a calendar. You know, you should be asking people when you're talking to them, when you come to the point of the invite, you should be saying, you know, hey, when is a better time for me to follow up with you? Mm-hmm. You have to be confident enough to ask them that, and then it goes on my calendar. So my free group process into the challenge group, into coaching, has worked so awesome that I now hit Success Club on the 1st of every month.
Wow.
So I won't lie, I kind of hold people off. If there's people at the end of the month that are like just barely going to make it into a challenge group, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sign you up on June 1st. Okay? But I'm just being honest with you. So hit your goals in a big way. I'll hit Success Club 18 or something like that. And if there's someone that wants to join my team, I don't really want them joining on the last day of the month because I want them to hit Success Starters for, you know, I want them to have 2 full months to hit Success Starters. So I have everyone that's ready to sign up, and it's because my funnel is full. I'm not pushing off people all month necessarily. You know, that's how I usually end up getting to 26 or something. But towards the end, I'm like, hey, my next enrollment's June 1st. So it kind of gives that sense of urgency too.
That's a great idea.
And some people might kill me for saying that, for, you know, don't ever push anyone off. Like Bonnie would kill me if she heard me say that.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
So obviously I've only been doing this for a little bit over a year, but from just what I've seen and learned from other people, I feel like in a lot of ways the first year is the hardest and where we lose most coaches, because you, like you said, you start to get that holy crap moment where this is way more, this isn't just selling stuff. Like I have to develop myself and I have to invest time in these trainings, and you're not going to make a lot of money off the bat. You know, you're going to put in all these hours and maybe make $40 some weeks, or make nothing, or get negative in your account, and they're going to take money from you because someone returned something, and it can be super frustrating. But Liz told me in the beginning, like, just stay consistent and push hard until that 1 year mark, and then you're going to see the compound effects start to happen. So what would you say, like, what are a couple tips or your guidance? Because we're all, since I'm only a year in, everyone's super new in this group. What would you say your biggest points of encouragement are for that first year?
I think it's so hard to answer that because I talk to different people all the time. Like Candace Rogers is one of my most successful coaches. And she's like, Coach, what do I got to do? I want to make $2,000 a week and I want to be home with my husband. They weren't even living together, you know? And I was like, this is what you got to do. So if you guys want me to tell you what to do, I'm going to tell you to sacrifice every single moment you have on this, even if you lose a little bit of time with your kids, so that you can have the next 70 years with your kids and you can leave a legacy for them. You have to make that, you have to be okay with that. There's many families who are like, no, I'm not doing that. That's fine. I'm just saying that, guys, if you're like out on the weekends, what are you doing? Like, if you want this, just spend the time now, because it is so worth it for me to be obsessed with something so awesome for a short amount of time. Guys, think about, does it feel like yesterday when you guys signed up, right? It goes like, boom, I've been doing this 4 years and it feels like yesterday and I blinked. So time flies anyway. I spent the most time on my fitness results and being I don't want to say a hard ass because that sounds just disgusting, but I showed people like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not afraid for someone to say, I talk about judgment on my social media. I say my family and friends probably in the beginning were like, what are you doing? Whatever's in your head, be willing to put it out there on social media. And I truly mean that. Don't be a jerk, obviously. But if you feel a certain way, if I struggle to hit Success Club ever, I'm like, what's the bold thing that I need to do right now to get the likes, the comments, and the conversations going? What's the live video I need to do to get shit moving? And so you're going to, in your first year, you have to become a Success Club genius. If you're not getting obsessed with high Success Club numbers in your first year, because you can't really think about a big team yet, right? You have to get people results and build the belief and prove yourself, not going to lie. And then the team will come. But you have to get obsessed with high Success Club numbers and helping people in a big way. Don't just think Shakeology. Don't just think workouts. I want you to think, how do I want to help people feel? What do I want to be known as on social media? And are you invested in this mission? Like, are you doing Beachbody until you kind of think it's not really worth your time anymore? Or are you like waiting to see if it works? Or have you been since day one, like, I'm doing this? And here's your answer. Someone else has already done it. In all scenarios, I've seen it all. Lawyers, doctors, homeless, like 7 children. I've seen it all, guys. So stop justifying why you can't do it. Make the decision that you will. Get upset. Like, so if I was to go on your team page right now, is Jessica the only one posting? Are you providing value? Are you guys showing up? I know you guys don't do a lot of team calls yet, but are you showing up to events? So be the CEO from day one. You know you got to show up, right? If I was to come to your house and hide in your closet and watch you do your Beachbody business every day, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rate? And that's what high performers do. They rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So when I lay my head down at night, I say, on a scale of 1 to 10, did I rock today? If today was a 6, tomorrow I'm going to be a 7. If today I'm a 10, maybe I get tomorrow off. If today I was a 0, kind of today I'll give myself a 1 because I did this call. You have to be your own advocate for pushing yourself. Your why might not push you enough. You actually have to push yourself. So, it's okay, Kayla. I'll let it slide. No worries. Yeah, good question. I hear from a lot of people that they don't want the nutrition plan and workouts because they don't have time for that, but they are interested in Shakeology. So to be honest, when we made the Success Club points 2 points for Shakeology, I'm like, why didn't we do that a long time ago? Shakeology is a huge part of this. I know that the total solution helps a lot of people. I believe in the challenge pack wholeheartedly, but I also know that there's a lot of people who are diehard yogis and that are, Beachbody on demand yoga is not going to cut it for them, or they're crazy CrossFitters, and I'm not trying to take that away from them. But if they can be in the gym talking about Shakeology with their Shakeology shaker, I'm like, hell yeah. And maybe down the road, because you're such an awesome coach and you give them an awesome experience and they love Shakeology, they might refer you someone who needs a challenge pack. So don't be too bummed out when someone just wants Shakeology. When someone just wants a workout, that's not happening because every single human needs nutrition help, Maybe they're just going to start with Shakeology and a meal plan in my challenge group. I'm open to that only because I want to say in 4 years, almost every single person will come around and buy a challenge pack. Some people have bought 3 challenge packs from me. So everyone's rules are different. You're the business owner. You can decide. They need the nutrition plan because you're going to be a really good detective and you're going to ask them, what's your biggest struggle with your health and wellness journey? Tell me where you're missing. Tell me what's hard for you. And guess what? Time is never going to change, but you can. And that's what you got to tell them. Don't be the Beachbody coach who just says, oh, well, everyone has time, because that doesn't work for people. You can say, so you can either keep your habits that you have now, or you can try to make some changes with me, because guess what? I've been in your shoes too. I know what it's like to feel like you don't have time. And I'm really only asking for like a few extra hours a week. If you watch TV, if you go out on the weekends, like it's habit changes. People want to feel better. That's what I tell them.
So true. To add on to that too, with the nutrition part, I can speak from experience, and any of you who have done this, obviously I don't have much time. You guys know that. And meal planning has changed our lives so much because I don't really cook the whole week because I meal prep on the weekends. And it in turn, I have so much more time with my family or to do my coaching stuff during the week because my meals are already done and the shopping's already done. That part's already done. So it really ends up saving you time and a lot of times money because you're not wasting food when you have that nutrition plan. So that's another good point to bring up to them too, is a lot of times you end up saving time and money. I don't meal prep dinners because usually I'm just doing like chicken. Like tonight we did chicken salad and broccoli, which that's not chicken, rice, and salad. There's
like, that's not
what I
what
was going to make. Never mind. But usually dinners are really quick, something really quick, or I will already pre-make like a bunch of brown rice or something for the week. So it's easy and I just heat it up really quick. Or we do breakfast for dinner a lot with eggs and vegetables or something.
And that's not like you want to show people how you are doing it. like you're busy too, right? I'm busy too. Even though I'm a full-time home working coach, I'm busy too. You'll learn, guys, when you go full-time that you're actually like, shit, now I know why the top coaches don't even work out. Because you're just like taking care of a million people.
Such a good point. Awesome. Do you guys have any other questions?
Speaking of dinner, I'm hungry.
I know, right? Tammy, did you have a question real quick?
Question to Colleen. I guess just a little bit, because you had shared that you were a self-doubter and a negative talker to yourself in the beginning. So I'm trying not to do that anymore, and I've grown a lot in that area. But one of the things I'm trying not to guilt myself about, but I'm like wondering how long I can hold on to Jessica's cape. Like, I want to do this really bad, but I feel like I need to like have her little, do you understand my question?
Yeah, totally. So it's kind of a personal preference. Like I said, I'm a cannonball in the pool kind of person. So I wanted my own team page, because to be honest, I was like, what's Team Drop the Cookie? That's so not my thing, you know? I love Liz. I love you, Liz, so much if you're ever watching this, but that is so not my brand. And so I was like ready to do my thing because I wanted to be, I don't know, I just wanted to do that myself. And so if you're waiting out of fear, I say go for it, because what's going to happen? You're going to have a team page, you're going to add some people there, but you're still going to have Jessica. You're still going to have Jessica's cape to look at and to model after. So you might not be hanging on to it, and she's not dragging you along, right? But she's totally always there. I just texted Liz and asked her for advice not that long ago. You know, so they're always going to be there. But the most important thing is to kind of allow yourself to lead into, you're going to go, it's kind of like doing Insanity, right? Day one, you're like, what am I doing? I can't do this. And then as you start, you're like, oh, I did it 30 minutes. That sucked, but I did it. It's kind of the same thing. So hesitation breeds fear. The longer you wait at the cliff, the longer you look over and go, ah. So that's why I'm a cannonball kind of person, because that hesitation totally breeds fear.
That is such a good quote. That's so true.
It's very true.
That's very true.
I feel like a wizard right now because there's no lights on. It's just black.
I love the light transition we've had. We're all the same here. Same time zone. It's so nice.
I know. My team's East Coast. I have one Pacific time. That's it.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Colleen. Seriously, this has been so powerful. I'm going to watch the recording over and over.
Anytime, guys. I love doing calls. So.
Really appreciate it. I'm sure in the future we'll hit you up for some social media golden nuggets.
Yes.
It's always something that we're trying to learn and grow with. But thank you guys so much for being on tonight. I'll post a recording later tonight in our team. And I hope you all have an amazing night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.